Welcome to Speak for Yourself, Marcellus Wiley, and all this cloth. Boy, have the best insurance agents this side of town. Look at me, I look a mess, man. Damn. And look at you, amazing over there, man. Yo, Acho, what's going on?
My dog just got to keep you on your toes, man. Keep you on your toes.
On my toes? You got me up in the eye air right there. You matched that. Let me see the watch. You matched the watch. You started with the watch, then you went to the glasses, then you went to this. I don't even know what they call that. And then the bow tie. Am I right? Is that the order?
Something like it.
You're doing too much up here. Let's get started in Dallas, where Dak Prescott's been doing a lot as well. Started off hot this season with just over 400 passing yards and 3 touchdown passes. But those numbers dropped to 0 touchdowns in Dallas's win last week. I emphasize win. His teammate, CeeDee Lamb, had nothing but praise for his quarterback's return from injury, saying, quote, having him is phenomenal. He overcomes adversity, and it shows. Acho! Match your watch, but has Dak Prescott actually been a disappointment so far this season?
In general, absolutely not. At all. Absolutely not. And anybody who would tell you otherwise is a liar. In context, absolutely. So when I just look at things generally speaking, no, Dak Prescott ain't been nobody's disappointment. How dare you? How dare I? But in the context of who Dak Prescott is, the money Dak Prescott gets paid, I don't know how you could say he hasn't been a disappointment.
Stay
so I'm going to start this show early.
Let's go.
And I'm going to go ahead and get loose.
That's why
I'm going to go ahead and stretch. I'm going to go ahead and head to the big board sale.
Jacket for a reason.
I'm thinking no jacket for a reason, bow tie for a reason. We got the glasses on to make sure I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. And so are the days of taking the gloves on with Dak Prescott. Here's how I look at things. No, Dak Prescott hasn't all been a disappointment in general. But let's look at the context, because Dak Prescott's a top 5 quarterback. At least that's what I've been told. That's what I've been led to believe. I don't think that he is not. But what about the numbers? What do they say? Let's look at some of the top leaders in the NFL thus far. Passing, touchdown leaders through 2 weeks. Tom Brady's a top 5 quarterback. He up there. Kyler, top 5, top 10. He up there. Mahomes, top 5, top 10. He's up there, tied for 3rd. And then Dak Prescott at 14th? Sell. I'm confused. Let's roll it and keep it pushing. Let's look at top players with passer rating, the top quarterbacks. Well, Russell Wilson, he's a top 5 quarterback. He's a number 1. Patrick Mahomes, top 5 quarterback. He's a number 2. Matthew Stafford, he's a top 5, top 10 quarterback. He's a number 3. Dak Prescott, what's he doing there at 15th? Okay, let's keep it moving. Let's talk about the passing touchdown percentage. So the passes that you throw, how many are touchdowns? Well, Jameis made it up there. He had a great coach, had a great game week 1. Russell Wilson, he's a top 5 quarterback. He's a number 2. Tom Brady, top 5 quarterback. He's at number 3. But Dak Prescott? What you doing down there at 22nd? So when I look at the context of Dak Prescott and the money he's making, then as I look at it, it makes no sense. Because Dak Prescott, you making $75 million. That's the most this year. That's the thing you're number 1 at. But when I look at where you rank in other categories, it don't make no sense to me, dog. So in context, yeah, Dak Prescott, he been a disappointment, big dog.
What quick say, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Don't make sense.
Well, he making a lot of dollars. So it makes a lot of sense to me. Boy. You went up there and cooked. And it was good cooking. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, Grandma threw her thing down. You know what I'm saying? It was all right. But you started off with the wrong premise. You started off with this top 5 premise and made Dak, since he makes the most money, have to justify why he's getting that much money by being top 5 at least. I give you that. But let's start somewhere else. Let's start with the old adage that you judge a man by the distance traveled. Let's start with the new I hate you. And the new adage that when you're coming off of injuries, you are judged by a different milestone. You take different stepping stones to your greatness. The first thing you're supposed to do, let's have a little trivia up here. First thing you're supposed to do off of injury, you were injury prone, you got injured a lot, right? First goal off of injury is to what?
Come back. For me.
Come back, exactly.
Come back.
Come back and be who you used to be.
Sure.
First goal is be who you used to be. Second goal is let's start to improve on who that guy was. And then if you can reach the ultimate apex, is this. Find your 6th gear once again and trust it. All right, you want to look at Dak Prescott like, oh, he's not top 5 right now in some of the categories, even though he is in something. First game, 72% completion percentage. Second game comes back with an 85.2. completion percentage. You say he's not top 5, but he's 3rd in the league in completion percentage. Okay, I'm not going to trip on that. I'm going to look at Dak Prescott, and then I'm going to start to realize, man, just outside the top 5, it's number 6 in yards per game. I'm going to start looking at his team saying, oh, y'all 1-1. I wonder if that's good. Only 7 other teams have a better record. So we're not judging Dak Prescott right now on earning all that money. I'm going to get to the money part. We're not judging Dak Prescott on being top 5. The first thing you even admitted was be who you used to be. Oh, Dak's already that. Matter of fact, Dak is better. Dak Prescott under Mike McCarthy. Let's talk about the last 7 games because that's all he had with his coach because he got hurt last year, right? Versus his last 7 under, let's say, his old coach when he was healthy and Jason Garrett. Do you know he's improved 9 percentage points in completion percentage? Do you know he's improved 4 points per game? Do you know he's improved yards per game, passing touchdowns, passer rating? Oh, we forget that we used to do this for a living, play football. Once you come off injury, the first box to check is, are you the same? Check. Now, have you improved on who you used to be? Check. Now let's get to the point where you want to get to. Talking all this money. The only reason you got an issue with Dak is because he make more money than you. He make more money than you ever gonna make. Let me stop that. I hate when people do that. Probably true, though. Here's the thing. Dak Prescott is getting retro pay. And you want to act like he's getting paid based off of just performance and service and accomplishment. Oh, no. They owe Dak. We ain't even got to it yet. Dak Prescott, including $75 million getting paid this year, has made a total of $111 million in the league. 75 this year, 111 million. 6 years in the league, you add $18.5 million a year. I ask you this. Is Dak Prescott an $18 million quarterback? Better or worse? Acho, the floor is yours. I knew I could make that money work.
Bruh, that was one of those arguments where my teacher once told me, like, I can prove to you that if I divide 1 by 1, it will equal 0. And a math teacher went all along the ways of doing all sorts of nonsense to finally make that somehow, some way
18 and
equal 0.
You don't like that?
So
a year.
That might have been your worst take of the year.
You just disagree with it. That's all that means. I know in today's world what that means.
You know, we've had this conversation before.
Let's do it again.
Dog, I have to remind you.
Yeah.
Y'all know how it goes. Goal-oriented, task-oriented. Task-oriented says, I want to be better than my former self. Goal-oriented says, I want to be better than everybody else. The NFL is a goal-oriented league. Dak Prescott doesn't need to be better than the Dak Prescott of yesteryear. He doesn't need to be better than the Dak Prescott of rookie year. He needs to be better than everybody else. And I'm not even saying be better than everybody else. But they do say this. You are the average of the company you keep. So Dak Prescott, what company are you keeping? Because at the top of the passing touchdown list, Tom Brady's keeping the company of Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray. At the top of the passer rating list, Russell Wilson is keeping the company of Patrick Mahomes, Matthew Stafford. At the top of the touchdown percentage list, Russell Wilson's keeping the company of Tom Brady. But Dak Prescott, you rank 14th in passing touchdowns while Brady, Murray, and Mahomes are 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Dak Prescott, you rank 15th in passer rating while Wilson, Mahomes, and Stafford are 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Dak Prescott, you rank 22nd in touchdown percentage while Jameis is even up there in the top 3 and Brady and Wilson are in the top 3 too. So I'm fully with you in regards to Dak Prescott versus former self is doing decent. But decent, here's my thing. Here's where I'm going to take the gloves off. And because I like
toe-to-toe with Tom Brady. He should have won, and he was decent.
I like Dak, but I got to take the gloves off.
Oh, I can't with
At what point in time are we going to really call it fair? In all seriousness.
Life's not fair, so I don't think ever.
Okay. At what point in time are we going to call it real? America.
We are real.
You look at Dak, and he ranks 15th, 13th, and 22nd in the major categories. The categories that have to do with scoring. And the categories that have to do with excellence. So, all the other good quarterbacks are in the top 5. So how long can you keep making? Bucky Brooks keep making. NFL people keep making.
Everybody else in
all
this?
people that are making excuses. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. First of all, I don't need no homies, homie. I'm here. I'm the gang. So you got to worry about me. Bucky gonna come on here and give you some of that too. But that's a Bucky issue. Let's talk about my issue with you. You keep telling me when you going to justify it and when you're going to be the best or top 5. Do you know that Aaron Rodgers was the MVP last year? How'd that work out for him ultimately? As you want to say, general in context. How did that work out generally for Aaron Rodgers being the MVP? Better than Tom Brady last year. How'd that work out? Did he get to have the confetti fall on him? No, he did not. How did it work out for Cam Newton having a better completion percentage than Tom Brady did last year? How'd that work out? Right now, I need fashion tips from Cam because Cam is unemployed right now. He can take that check. How did it work out for Kirk Cousins, who went out there last year and actually beat Tom Brady in quarterback rating? How'd that work out for him in general, in context? Man, stop cooking these books and trying to justify the money. They owed this man money. If somebody owe you money, as soon as they give you the money, then they start looking at you like you got new demands. You're like, wait. Hold up. Nate Dogg on their ass. Bruh, you owed me. Dak Prescott was making $800,000 and out there leading this team to the playoffs and winning the NFC East 2 out of the first 4 years. I don't understand your heel turn on Dak Prescott just because he got paid what they already owed him. Reparations of anything. You trying to go there like he got to win a Super Bowl yesterday.
Here's what I'll say. Even if we disregard the money, is Dak Prescott a top 10 quarterback?
Top 10? Yes.
I didn't even say 5 because I didn't want to argue.
Yeah, boy.
If he's top 10,
no,
he's top 10.
He's top 10.
Here's my thing. Then why aren't you top 10 in these categories?
He is top 10.
The other big question I have is
yards,
this.
completion percentage, shall we?
The other big question I have is this. If Dak Prescott should be mentioned in the same breath as Kyler Murray, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Matthew Stafford. If I have this question.
Did you say Kyler Murray after 2 weeks? Did you say Kyler Murray anytime this offseason?
The only reason I lowered the bar. Disregard
it was a yes or no question.
I did that to help you.
I asked yes or no question.
No, I haven't previously mentioned.
Okay.
I did that to help y'all. Okay, bet. Remove Kyler.
What you mean, y'all?
If Dak is supposed to be mentioned in the same conversation as Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and let's play a game of football. Patrick Mahomes has put his team on his back to win a game through 2 weeks against the Cleveland Browns. Lamar Jackson has put his team on his back to win a game through 2 weeks against Patrick Mahomes. Aaron Rodgers has put his team on his back to win a game through 2 weeks. Detroit Lions, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Tom Brady has put his team on his back to win one of the 2 games through 2 weeks versus the Dallas Cowboys week 1. Russell Wilson has put his team on his back to beat the Colts week 1. 4 touchdown passes, no picks. All of these quarterbacks who Dak Prescott is supposed to be as good as, who you and I would both submit Dak Prescott is as good as, have at some point in time put the team on their back through 2 weeks to win a game. Dak Prescott, you could argue, put the team on his back in week 1. They lost. And clearly week 2, he didn't put the team on his back. That was all rushing game. I'm just saying, still, there's too much evidence at this point. There is too much evidence.
Hold on. So you want bad circumstances to prove that he's the greatest American hero. Oh, I forget. When you play on America's team, they ask for excessive, absurd things. I don't need to be in a bad situation to pull us up out of it to say that this is how good I am. Dak Prescott put the team on his back. Week 1, did he not?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they lost.
And young Jeezy, Greg Zuerlein, kicked the team off his back. Kicked the team off his back, literally. Okay. Week 2, you can say it's the Russian attack led by Tony Pollard. I give you that. Zeke chipped in as well. I give you that. But Dak Prescott went out there and was efficient with the football. His completion percentage went up to 85%, and you're going to act like what? And they won the game. So wait a minute. Are you using this same understanding when Patrick Mahomes just wins the game and it's because, I don't know, they actually do run the ball or he doesn't light it up? You don't have to go to that place to say that Dak Prescott, since you didn't save us, you're not top 10.
No, the place I'm going to is this. There is something that all of these top 5 or top 10 quarterbacks have in common. And what they have in common, I have not yet seen Dak Prescott show that attribute. What they have in common, and very simply, it's not even to me debatable.
Oh, my.
Tom Brady, team on his back. Tom Brady didn't have a Greg Zuerlein. Instead, Tom Brady had a Chris Godwin who fumbled while crossing the pylon. Tom Brady had a Leonard Fournette who dropped the ball for an interception. Tom Brady had another interception that was not his fault. Tom Brady overcame 3 turnovers by players that were not his fault just to win the game with 1:40 seconds left. Russell Wilson, he goes in Indy and 4 touchdowns, 1, 2, 3, 4, and he puts that team on his back. Baker Mayfield, he's ahead of Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes says, I ain't losing. Patrick Mahomes comes back from down 12 points to win the game. All I'm saying is all the top 5, even if you want to call it 10 quarterbacks, have something in common through 2 weeks.
Okay.
Why doesn't Dak have that in common?
Because it's only 2 weeks. Damn. Like, who gives it? Usain Bolt, after 10 meters, who's winning? Never him. After 20 meters, who's winning? Never him.
But he's shown that he can win.
And Dak Prescott has shown he can win. Has Baker Mayfield ever won the division ever?
No.
Well, then, damn, why you acting like he ain't did more than Baker Mayfield?
Because Dak is greater. He's supposed to be greater than
so
Baker.
don't bring up lesser players then.
I didn't bring up Baker.
You did say Baker Mayfield. You literally
lost
said
to
that.
Patrick
And he
Mahomes.
lost Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, Mahomes.
Okay.
The point was Mahomes.
Okay. And can Dak Prescott catch Patrick Mahomes this year in Super Bowl championship?
He can.
Okay. So he ain't out of reach, Usain Bolt. He ain't that far gone. Okay. What about Russell Wilson? 3-6 in his last 9 playoff games. Can Dak catch Russell Wilson in a number of championships this year? Oh, okay. So he ain't gone either, Usain Bolt. And then you're going to bring up the GOAT. Godly, why'd you bring up the GOAT? Because I got to bring up the GOAT. And then when you bring up the GOAT, you start to notice that the GOAT wasn't goating that hard in the playoffs, at least. 55% completion percentage. Is that good? Okay. But you carried the team, huh? Top right. No, you didn't. Back that up with a 54.5. Oh, you carrying the team? Oh, defense. 9 turnovers forced last year in the postseason. Let's back that up. Brady, 55, 54. Oh, you know Brady mad now. He going against Aaron Rodgers. 55. Now, and 3 interceptions. Okay, I digress. And then the Super Bowl. Brady, you know Brady is the GOAT. It's the GOAT. 201 passing yards. I don't like to use just stats individually in a vacuum to try to make my point fully because you're going to miss so much. If you look at Dak Prescott this year, you're going to miss so much by just looking at stats. But he does have stats. First, in completions. Who has most completions in this league? Dak. Who has 3rd completion percentage? Dak. Who's 6th in yards? Dak. How many quarterbacks undefeated? 7. Like, you acting like he out the race. If anything, you need to judge this year by itself and stop using last year as your example.
I'm even saying this, though. If the question is, has Dak Prescott been a disappointment so far this season?
No.
Then if we're looking at this season, if you want to talk last year, I'll concede. Tom Brady didn't do great completion percentage-wise in the playoffs. But so far this season, even if you want to mention some of the undefeated quarterbacks, Kyler Murray, Matthew Stafford, Tom Brady. I don't have all of them off top of my list. It might be your dog, Jimmy G. Even if you want to mention some of those, I'm like, but Dak, you're supposed to be in that conversation.
He is in that conversation.
You're supposed to be in these conversations of quarterbacks who have had to put the team on their back. 50% of NFL games, really I think it's 49%, are decided by 7 points or less. 24% are decided by 3 points or less. So Dak Prescott, I need you to be that 24%. I need you to be that 49%. All I'm saying, Sel, is if Kyler has done it, if Stafford has done it, if Russ has done it, if Mahomes has done it, if Rodgers has done it, if Brady has done it, if Lamar has done it, why can't Dak do it? That's literally all I'm asking.
I'm looking.
Why can't Dak?
Dak can do it. I understand where you're going. I don't like it, and I'm not going with you. But I'm going to yell at you from way over here saying, don't do that. Because last year, I remember Tom Brady, and me and you had this year-long debate on Tom Brady. Remember he was, after 2 games, 1-1? Oh, Dak's 1-1. Remember after 2 games, he had 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and people were like, oh, there's a reason Belichick didn't really want him. They got smashed in week 1. Have the Cowboys got smashed? No, they almost beat the champs that they didn't get kicked out of that by their kicker. And they beat the Chargers, which is a dark horse team. Dak can do it. Dak will do it. Under Mike McCarthy, boy, is at a record pace right now. And this year, at least they got a win to show for it versus last year where we know they were off to a slow start in terms of the win column. Add it all up, man. Just be a little patient. Let Usain Bolt, which is Dak, let me stop. Let him catch up to whatever your absurd expectations and standards are based off the money. Coming up, there's a lot to look forward to in week 3. But we'll tell you the most intriguing matchup and which player needs to show us something. But first, Matthew Stafford has a big test against the defending champs. Tell you how much pressure is on the Rams quarterback. Coordinachos depending on how much he makes. That's next. Don't speak for yourself.
Well, Matthew Stafford has looked great so far in the Rams uniform, leading LA to a perfect 2-0 start. Next up, a home game against the defending champs Sunday on Fox. Now, Stafford said the Bucs have a great defense, adding, quote, the big challenge for us, close quote. He'll also be going toe-to-toe with, that other guy, Tom Brady. Sal,
Yes.
How much pressure is on that dude? Hall of Famer adjacent.
Okay, one thing, I don't want to call my trademark lawyer on you, but if you keep saying that,
I said that
with TH, okay, that all these that dudes, and I'm talking to all these analysts out here.
How much pressure is on that dude?
Okay, thank you very much, because I don't want to have to sue all y'all.
How much pressure is on Matthew Stafford?
Matthew Stafford, that much. Zero pressure. Seriously, did you play football? Like, in your third game in a new system, a little baby in that system, Matthew Stafford, who's never won a playoff game in his career, goes to a new team, new system in the third game. Hey, come here, Matthew. I know you barely learned to walk in this system, but go out there and beat the Super Bowl champions. Oh, yeah, by the way, they've gotten better. No pressure on Matthew Stafford to go out there and do it. Now, if he does it, amazing. If he doesn't do it, hey, we're not going to fault you, Matthew Stafford. So therefore, if there's no consequence, there's no pressure. You got to be careful in this world for having high expectations, but still asking too much too soon. I want to meet those expectations that fast. You got to be careful about running the marathon like it's a sprint. But I know a lot of people out there don't want to take that advice, and they say, if I see it, I'm going to take it. Okay. I'll give you a couple examples. One, right here, looking at you. You popping right now. You popping. You hot. I got a couple of homegirls in the DMs tomorrow. What's up with Acho? And they're just sitting there. They ain't going to respond to that because I know you. You ain't worth it. Here's the real. Here's the real. Here's the real. You popping right now, Acho. I know you are. But be careful. Be careful. Want it all. Take it in bite-sized bits. And you have been. Over time, it's been progressing. But not all at once, right? Not all in week 3. I got a couple boys that I gave them some friendly advice. You know, I told you, when I go out to lunch or brunch, as they want to do it, they bougie, I'm not the one to just keep passing the hors d'oeuvres. I'm talking the real. I'm going to stop the hors d'oeuvres from passing. Hey, bro, don't do that. I had 2 boys, younger. I told them, don't get married, man, not yet. I'm married. I know what it looked like. And they're like, no, this the one. This one. I said, it could be the one, but this ain't got to be the time. And they're like, no. Fast forward a few years, guess what? Both getting divorced. Not because of my advice, because they didn't take it. But the point is, sometimes you just can't want it all, Acho, as soon as you see it. Matthew Stafford, no pressure. If you win, hit them with those claps. But if you don't, it's all good, bro. We got a long season.
Strong take. That amends the take of your first lap, or first block. Matthew Stafford has a boatload of pressure this weekend because he has the pressure of perception. So I'm not going to be too hyperbolic because I just can't afford to do that. But I joked and said Stafford is a fringe Hall of Famer, right? Stafford's one of the greatest quarterbacks of this generation by talent, but he ain't won nothing yet. Ain't really beat nobody. Ain't got no marquee victories. We can think about Aaron Rodgers' marquee wins. We can think about even Patrick Mahomes in his young career, a marquee comeback victory over the Ford. We can think about marquee wins, Russell Wilson, the great quarterbacks. Stafford, you ain't got no marquee victories, big dog. You came to L.A. to win these games. That's what Matthew Stafford came for. Stafford didn't come to L.A. to beat the Chicago Bears with Andy Dalton at quarterback. Stafford didn't come to L.A. to beat the Indianapolis Colts without Carson Wentz in their final possession. Stafford came to L.A. to win championships. But in order to win championships, you're going to have to defeat the champion in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Stafford is 0-3 in the playoffs. What is making him Hall of Fame adjacent and not Hall of Fame for certain is his lack of meaningful wins versus meaningful teams in meaningful moments. So, Stafford, if you came to L.A. to win playoff games, it behooves you to beat playoff teams. Because as it stands right now, the Colts at 0-2 don't look like a playoff team. The Bears, not knowing who their quarterback is, don't look like a playoff team. Stafford, you came here to rewrite your own legacy. And your legacy is you can have a great arm, you can pass for a lot of yards, but you can't win meaningful games. This sell to me, even in week 3, is a meaningful game.
Interesting. I'm going to agree with some of that because in perception, it will look bad to some who won't dive deeper than the shallow end of the pool. Why would it look bad? Because Jared Goff beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year. And people will look at that and say, well, if you're better than Jared Goff, then obviously you should help beat the Tampa Bay Bucs this year. That's not how it rolls, bro. Last year, you had the #1 defense. This year, you look at this defense, especially running the ball against them, they are 20th ranked. cats are gashing. Chicago went up and down the field gashing them in terms of the run game. This is not the same defense, obviously not the same defensive coordinator, despite having a lot of the same talent. So in perception, it can skew the reality. The reality is it's about performance to get to the outcome. Take performance streaks to the outcome on the boulevard. And if you're Matthew Stafford, you got to just continue to have great performances. Great performances that have you third in passer rating this season. Great performances that has your team in the situation of being undefeated. Let's talk about this, though, because I love you, and I'm starting to know through osmosis, even when I'm prepping, how you gonna prep. You know what I'm saying? I know you're gonna wear the shades, and if they look good, you're gonna wear them again. And look at you, back at it. And I know if you popping yesterday with the fit, you're gonna take it even riskier. And here's the bow tie, my brother. So I know you're gonna come out like that. But I'm a historian of this game, so it's hard to move me, man. You know, I'm a purist. I remember in 2011 when Eli Manning lost to the defending Super Bowl champion Green Bay Packers. And then himself still won that Super Bowl. I remember, for you young schoolers, are you Gen Z or millennial? I don't
Millennial.
know. Millennial?
Some respect on my age, coach.
Look at y'all. Y'all went from Christian Bloods to Gen Z's. Like, man, who banging out here talking about we a group? Anyway, let's talk about last year when Tom Brady lost to the defending champion Chiefs. And who ended up winning the Super Bowl? Tom Brady, the loser of the game against that same Kansas City team. Bruh, if you think there's a lot of pressure on this game, you haven't been studying. You haven't been watching. You haven't been looking. Our game says you can recover, like Tampa Bay did last year against the Chiefs and like Matthew Stafford can against this team.
But still, I don't think the two things are mutually exclusive. And let me pause. Because you know what makes our show different, what I would like to say is better than other shows, is that we don't have to meaninglessly and mindlessly argue.
Nah,
we don't just argue for argument's sake. No. I think you're fully right in the aspect that you can recover from a situation that doesn't necessarily go your way, like Eli Manning did when he lost to the Packers to go back and win.
Thanks.
But just because you can recover from a situation does not relieve the pressure in that moment of the situation. So I'm fully co-signing your take, and in my full take, I don't think is necessarily disagreeing.
Okay.
Stafford can for sure lose this game and go on to win a Super Bowl. He can lose this game, go on to meet the Bucs in the NFC Championship game and win a Super Bowl. In life, you can fall down, you can get up, fall down again, and you can still end up winning. However, in that moment, there is still pressure. And in this moment for Stafford, there's still pressure because you brought up Goff. Stafford hasn't done anything Goff couldn't do thus far this season. Beat the Bears with Andy Dalton. I think Goff could have beat the Bears with Andy Dalton. I think Goff could have beat the Colts without Carson Wentz for that final drive with the game on the line. With Jacob Eason going out there throwing a pick.
Goff could do that in Detroit, then. I mean,
but I'm saying I think that Stafford is yet to do something Goff couldn't do. But in this moment, this season, because yes, Goff beat the Bucs last season. In this moment in this season, with the Bucs looking good, having won 10 straight games dating back to last season, I don't think Goff could do it. But Stafford can. So Stafford, if we traded Goff plus 2 first-round picks for you, then it's time for you to do what he couldn't do. And that can happen in this moment.
Or do what he did and do it better.
Sure.
Right?
Either way.
We over here, a little semantics, but still, Jared Goff lost to your Eagles and then went out there and won 13 games and 2 playoff games. So just do that and do better. You can lose to the Bucs. Win us 13 games. We ain't tripping. Win us some playoff games. Get us to the Super Bowl. Yeah. And then finish the deal, right? But finishing the deal doesn't happen at the start of the deal. You don't even know. I'm a late bloomer. I've lived through this. When people say it's pressure right now. Every weekend I go out there with my kids and they go to their activities that I told you they just started soccer games. No more practices, no more skills, games. Like, we don't know them kids over there. Let's go get it. And you can just hear it already. Parents think their kids going pro just because their kids scored a goal. I'm like, looking at the parents, I'm like, if he turned out like y'all, he ain't going nowhere. You better be happy with little man out here getting these goals. But I got a blind spot, so I do want to talk like our show is different. I have never felt pressure. Like, I don't know how to properly term pressure. I know responsibility. I know I'm the only option, but I don't know what pressure is, because if there's a consequence that's grave, okay, maybe that's pressure. But what is pressure to you? Because I swear I don't feel it.
Pressure to me is a imminent consequence in the imminent moment.
Consequence, right?
Yes.
So what's the consequence?
The consequence to me for Stafford is at least the imminent thought of man, was he worth those 2 first plus golf? At least the thought of, man, Stafford still can't win big games. Let me give you this. I don't know why I saved it thus far.
2-1 is a consequence.
Stafford is 10-59 in his career versus teams that went on to make the playoffs. 10-59 versus teams that went on to make the playoffs. At least in this very particular moment, if you lose to another playoff team, now we look at least for now, like, you know what, Stafford? It's just you. You look good, you got swag, the arm sleeve is hella swaggy, you look the part, All-American, but dang, 10-60 is what he would be, assuming the Bucs go on to make the playoffs, versus teams to go on to make the playoffs. I say it like this, Del. Did you take the SAT or ACT? I don't even know.
SAT.
My dog, you took the SAT. To me, there is pressure in that moment taking that standardized test, that SAT or that ACT, because that and how you do on that test, it can dictate where you go to college.
Unless you're a 5-star.
Sure. But even if it can dictate where you go to college.
That's facts.
But here's a kicker. To your point, in theory, you can take the SAT again.
Oh, hell yeah.
And you can take the ACT again. But there's still pressure at the moment in which you take that test because it can dictate something imminently. Not to say you can't take it again, not to say Stafford can't play the Bucs again, but at least on Sunday, there's going to be pressure on that primetime game on Fox because, yes, he could take it again, but boy, if you pass this test, you got a little bit of relief for the moment.
What's that word you keep saying, like Emmitt Smith? What is it? Imminently? What is it?
Eminent.
Emmitt Smith over here.
Eminent.
See, this is my problem. I'm such an internal optimist. As soon as I fall down, I'm like, I'm up there again so fast. Look, why does he have to be 10-60 after this game? Why can't he just be 0-1? You know how it goes. Like, you've done shows with other dudes. You doing this show now. It's like a different fight. I don't give a damn if that was better or this is worse or whatever you want to call it. We're going to fight different. And Matthew Stafford just has to know, at least in his mind, cleanse yourself, brother. You're not 10-59. You're 0-0 and potentially 0-1. It ain't that serious. Staying in the NFL, Fox Bet Ticket 6 giving you one last chance to win $1 million. Now that's pressure. Cardinals-Jaguars is one of the matchups. Acho, 88% of America is picking the Cardinals so far. So who wins and by how many points?
I got the Cardinals, and I got them by 22. I think 36-14.
Dang, I got them by 11, so you saying the game over at halftime. We'll see. Enter now and correctly pick the outcomes of 6 Sunday NFL games for your last shot. Win $1 million with Terry Bradshaw's money. Some of Dak's Nacho. Scan the QR code on the screen, download the app, and play for free $99. Coming up, we cannot wait for week 3 in the NFL, but who is the quarterback to watch? We'll answer that and so much more next on Speak for Yourself. I can see it. Welcome back. Just hours away from week 3 kicking off in Houston. But before that, our new weekly segment, Acho, you know what we're about to do. Takes a look at the biggest storylines around the league. So here's our week 3 watch. A lot of great matchups to look forward to. But Acho, which one is the most intriguing?
Man, if you care about football from top to bottom of the league, if you care about the game of the NFL, then you have to watch the Bears and the Browns. There's too many storylines. Here's why, Steph.
What?
Is Justin Fields going to retain the job from here on out? Justin Fields taking over for Andy Dalton. Baker Mayfield, you have not looked good all season. At a minimum, you haven't looked great. I got to figure out, are the Bears going to take a leap of any kind? And are the Browns, who's supposed to be an 11 or 12 win team, going to get on a roll? So for me, my most intriguing matchup, I got my Browns and I got my Bears.
Man, you're overthinking this one. Those glasses make you act like you're a nerd. You got to do too much. Do you have Sunday direct ticket?
I do.
You can watch other games. Like, maybe, I don't know, the Rams versus the Bucs. Like, this is an easy one. I just want to see how the Rams perform because they look better this year. I can't lie. But so do the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. When the champs get better and then you get better, this is going to be a great litmus test. Look, we don't know what's going to happen out there. Matthew Stafford in big games in the playoffs, we certainly haven't seen it. Acho brings up how he looks against playoff teams. Well, you're going against the champions right now. Hopefully he can go up there and live up to a high standard because there's certainly high expectations. Let's talk quarterbacks right now. We have star quarterbacks facing off in marquee matchups, and we have 4 rookies, 1, 2, 3, 4, starting this weekend. So, Acho, who's your quarterback to watch heading into week 3?
My quarterback to watch, not a rookie, a second-year player. Oh, it hurts. Jalen Hurts. Here's why, Sel. They remember you in Philly for what you do in the playoffs, but also what you do against the Cowboys. And Jalen Hurts, you're playing the Cowboys this week. You balled versus the Atlanta Falcons week 1. It looked nice. 3 touchdowns. Oh, my gosh, Jalen Hurts is great. But then against the San Francisco 49ers, you made some big throws, had a 91-yard completion, traveled about 47 yards through the air. But are you great? Are you good? Or are you just okay? I think we're going to learn a lot. Primetime game versus a division opponent hurts. The only thing that these people will remember is what you do in the playoffs and what you do versus the Cowboys. Not in the playoffs today, but you will be playing the Cowboys this weekend.
There you go, digging again. You need to come to my house Sunday. I got you, because you got some weird matchups. Mine's just simple. It's Matthew Stafford. Like, come on, we just spent a whole block talking about Matthew Stafford. Is he ready for the big moments? Is he ready to take this team over the hump? Well, I think he is, but we'll see. He's going against Tom Brady. He's going against the GOAT. There's no comparison there. But there is a comparison for Matthew Stafford versus Jared Goff and what this team was able to accomplish under their former quarterback. So it's on you, Matthew Stafford. Your record against Tom Brady, whatever that means, 1-1, and then he got knocked out of one game. So basically, you're on pace for a highs in completion percentage and passer rating. Let's finish the deal week 3 and go out there and get a W. Finally, let's talk players with something to prove. Acho, who is your show-me-something player week 3?
My show-me-something player.
Homie, show me what it is.
Justin Herbert. And here's my thing, Sal. You better love this one. You better love this one. Herbert is starting to flirt with being overrated. He's not committed to being overrated. He's not married to being overrated, but he's starting to flirt with it. Because last year, 31 touchdowns, amazing. Rookie record. Justin Herbert, you are amazing. But it didn't translate to wins, big dog. It didn't translate to wins. 6 wins. This year, you got 10 red zone drives, most in the NFL. Amazing. But it doesn't translate to points. Only scored 3 touchdowns. You got 2 touchdowns on the year. You got 3 picks on the year. You played against Dak Prescott, who hasn't been great, and you got outplayed. At least your team did. So he has to show me something because you're going against Patrick Mahomes. So many people have said you are going to be able to take over that division sooner than later. I must see something on Sunday.
So, this hurts. Yo, show me something player, someone who already showed you something. Who was the rookie of the year last year?
Emphasis on the word.
Isn't that something?
Last.
That is something.
Last.
I got a guy.
Last.
Oh, you gonna hit him with
off
that?
screen.
To the right.
I'm off screen.
All right. I'm gonna actually look at this. Show me something player. Someone who hasn't showed me anything so far. Oh, Justin Fields. Let's go there. You know why? It's Justin Fields. I know you got the potential, but can you put that potential into motion? We talking about kinetic energy right now. I'm really questioning, is Justin Fields ready for the passing game of the NFL? Because right now, if you look at Justin Fields, he's 15% on third down. That's a money down right there. 53% in totality. They've only had 2 first downs through the air with Justin Fields. Like I know everyone's going to say, but he ain't played that much. He wasn't the starter. This is his week. Okay. Well, then show me something. It's really that simple.
Here's my thing, Sal. Let's go back. You like to your boy. Let's go back to Justin Herbert. Let's go back to your boy, if we can.
All right.
He showed us something last year, which means the bar is high. It's higher than it is for Fields. But he hasn't shown us really anything this year.
Anything? 1-1?
2 touchdowns, 3 picks.
Washington.
1-1. You lost to a Cowboys team that, by any metric right now, defensively is average. They're 29th ranked as it pertains to yards given up per play. Has Herbert shown you enough even through 2 weeks?
You call him Sherbert? You trying to go there? Okay, you trying to really put your little jokes in there and disrespect that little homie. Okay, let me set the record straight. Went on the road, early game, won against a Washington team that we thought was jacked up on defense. At least so far, we don't know if those are mixed results. But still a good win. Comes back here, beats the Cowboys, not only once, but twice. 2 touchdowns taken off the board, and all of a sudden you lose a close game. And now you want to say, show me something?
Here's why, Sal. I need Herbert to show me that not only are his stats great for him, but they're great for everybody else. Herbert has a ton of individual wins.
I'm with you.
I want to see team wins.
I'm with you.
Again, his team beat him once, his team beat him twice. But we've seen that before because Tom Brady's team had beat him once, twice, 3 times against the Cowboys. But Tom Brady still said, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you something, player. I'm going to win that game. I need Herbert's individual victories to translate to collective wins.
So put all those individual gold medals down and help the relay team get one, too. I feel you there. That'll do it for week 3 watch. Be sure to watch us break it all down on Monday. Coming up, our own Troy Aikman says the Cowboys should be pleased with their start this season. See that, Acho? Everybody agree with me. We'll tell you if that's really the case next on Speak for Yourself. Oh, we got out of frame on it.
Let's get back to Dallas.
Where the Cowboys are off to a 1-1 start after losing to the Bucs by 2 in their opener. then hitting a game-winning field goal last week to beat my Chargers on the road. Cowboys legend, our own Troy Aikman, thinks everyone should be happy so far in Dallas. Take a listen.
That was a huge win for them. You don't want to ever start feeling too good about yourself, especially after 2 games. But I think that you go into the year and you're optimistic. Offensively, you feel you're going to be really good. And I think after 2 games, you'd have to say that you're pretty pleased with what we've seen up to this point. And I think the way that the defense played on Sunday and what they've done the last 2 weeks in creating the takeaways, that's always been a little bit of a problem, has really helped them. I think this defense probably should be getting a lot more credit.
Gotcha. You agree with Troy Aikman that the Cowboys should be pleased after 2 games?
No, I don't. Not at all. And after this very calm yet rational and logical take, you won't either. I'll talk to y'all while talking to my dog. Sel, I know you do not gamble often.
No.
But I will propose a hypothetical situation for you all at home. I'll propose the same situation for you, my dog. If you go to the casino and you win $50,000.
Damn.
You'd be pretty ecstatic. Woo! Be pretty happy. You'd be pretty happy.
Get the club.
But what if I told you you were up $500,000 at one point and only left with 50? You wouldn't feel as good. Why? Because context matters. If you look at the Cowboys' schedule and you see they play the Bucs and the Chargers, you'd be pretty happy with a 1-1 split.
Right.
But what if I told you while playing the Bucs, they turned the ball over 4 times, 3 times meaningfully? What if I told you that rather than them scoring with Chris Godwin, he fumbles, y'all go down and get points? If I told you that context, you'd realize, wait a second, we actually should be 2-0. In the same manner that you might think you should be ecstatic leaving the casino up $50,000, but you wouldn't be if you were at one point in time up $500,000. That's how I feel about the Dallas Cowboys. In theory, being 1-1 after 2 games, knowing the 2 teams they played, you should be ecstatic. At least you should be pleased. But knowing that you lost a game in which the Bucs gave you freely, now I'm no longer satisfied after 2 games.
Man, you grabbed that emotional connection on that one. Got me there. Love what you said there. I agree with the emotional content. I agree with how I would feel in that moment. But I don't agree with the summary. I don't agree with the outcome. 1-1 split against Tampa Bay, I would be happy. You know why? Because I like how you started to say, oh, well, they turned the ball over 4 times, right? Instead of saying what really happened, we forced 4 turnovers. Because guess what? Who's number 1 in the league in takeaways? Dallas Cowboys. Number 1 in anything defensively is something to be pleased about this year for the Dallas Cowboys. Sure. Echoing what Troy Aikman is saying. Dallas Cowboys on offense, we expect this. 4th total, 7th rushing, 6th passing. Do you expect them to be 8th against the run? No, you need to stop the run out there. Do you expect them to be number 1 again in takeaways? No, didn't expect that. Do you expect them to be number 1 in turnover margin? No. So there's some positives, things to be pleased about. And I remember us talking about guys coming back from injury. Let's talk about teams coming back from non-playoff years. You got to look at it different. Milestones, stepping stones, different. A non-playoff team from last year, we know Dak was hurt. Dak wasn't there. But still, it was a non-playoff team. You know what they have to do? Take it in doses. You know who took it like that? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 7-9 the year before. What happened? 1-1 after week 2. You don't win a Super Bowl before week 3. They understood that, and they had signs, flashes of what they wanted to become. That's the same thing that Troy Aikman is saying about the Dallas Cowboys. I'm all in on the Dallas Cowboys right now because they haven't kicked me off their wagon. I'm actually pretty pleased. Got to bring in Fox NFL analyst Greg Jennings. So, Greg, you agree with me? You agree with Troy Aikman that the Cowboys should be pleased after 2 games?
I'm a little torn here, but I'll go down the middle. I know, Acho, you're going to say, don't do that. I'm a veteran when it comes to TV and answering questions, but I agree and I disagree at the same time. And here's why I disagree first. I disagree because the Dallas Cowboys, if we're looking at it from a lens of the Bucs are the Super Bowl championship team that won it last year. Everybody that plays them this year, we know, well, I know from experience, when you win a championship, you get every opponent's best shot. So the expectation was, we're going to get Dallas's best shot. They're going to at least punch until they can't punch anymore, until we knock them out. But we know we'll eventually knock them out. This is why I think that when I listen to Troy Aikman, it's like, okay, I disagree because are we moving the bar because this team is not really who we think they should be? And that's where I fall into the category of, then I agree. Because if we move the bar and this is not a championship team and this is not a team that we expect to be 2-0, or we would just say they would be okay getting away with one loss because it was the Bucs versus a team that we expect to win and compete for an NFC title or NFC East title and an NFC championship, we would say they got to win that game. They got to prove to the world, just like we're going to expect of Matthew Stafford this upcoming week, they got to win. There is no moral victories. And so this is when I say, I agree with you, Troy, if we're saying we give them the moral victories, but I disagree because we know as athletes, we don't settle for that. And the bar never gets moved. And so they have to win the games that they should win, regardless of who that opponent is. Going against the LA Chargers, this is a team that didn't make the playoffs. You're a team that didn't make the playoffs, but everybody always talks as though you make the playoffs every year. So go out there and beat them down like you should, or at least that we all anticipate you to do. That didn't happen, and it hasn't happened yet. So, yes, they have some bright spots. Every team has had some bright spots. Every team across the National Football League went into this week showing some film of where their players can improve, but also encouraging them like a great coach would, saying, guys, we did some great things here. Look at this. We're right where we need to be. We just got to finish. That's the Dallas Cowboys. They're where they need to be on the field. They're in games. Now they just have to complete it consistently by winning those games.
I love that take, G. I love that take. Let me say this. Let me break this down from a macro to a micro level. Fellas, y'all have to help me understand, outside of the record, what should I be pleased with? I can't really be pleased with Dak Prescott and his 3 touchdown passes. I mean, he's only, tied for 14th, also tied for 20th, because there are 20 people with 3 touchdown passes or better in the National Football League. So I'm not really pleased with that. I'm not pleased with Zeke, averaging 3.9 yards a carry, ranking 31st in the NFL in yards per carry, the lowest of his career. I'm not really pleased with the defense. They're 27th ranked in total defense. They're 29th ranked in yards per play given up. Only 3 teams worse than them in yards per play given up. And at best, they're 15th in scoring defense. I'm not pleased with the pass rush. Our only 2 sacks have come from linebackers, Leighton Vander Esch and Micah Parsons. And Micah Parsons' sack was actually a grounding call that just counts in the statistical book as a sack. So as I really look at it, what am I pleased with? Yeah, I'm pleased with CeeDee Lamb. I'm pleased with my dog Diggs at the cornerback position. But in totality, nothing really pleases me about the Cowboys, particularly if the expectation, like Greg Jennings so wonderfully said, is where the expectation truly should be. If we want to lower the bar and make the Dallas Cowboys the Houston Texans without Deshaun, make the Dallas Cowboys the Jacksonville Jaguars, make the Dallas Cowboys the New York Jets, then absolutely, we should all be ecstatic, not just pleased, we should be jumping for joy. But if the Dallas Cowboys are supposed to be a Super Bowl contender, a surefire playoff team, then we can't be pleased when they barely beat the Chargers, who aren't a playoff team, and we can't be pleased when the Bucs give them a game and the Cowboys refuse to take it. And that's where I stand.
Oh, man. Okay, that's where you stand, or that's where you're going to fall. That's all good, big dog. I'm going to give you some things that should make you smile. Like improvement. Usually improvement means, okay, that's good. The defense went from 28th to 15th, and it's only 2 weeks, and you're sitting there like, whatever, that's not good. The offense went from 14th to 4th, and you're like, that's nothing. Okay, takeaways, they're number 1 in the league. Turnover margin, number 1 in the league. 3rd on 3rd down. Who cares about all those little things? Just give me your Super Bowl trophy or get out my way. Okay, that's not how the game goes. Let's talk about it for real. The bar did get moved, Greg, you're right. But the bar got higher, not lower. Think about this. This is what you guys are losing in context. They're not just playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in week 1. They're not just playing a Super Bowl champion team in week 1. They're playing the only team in the salary cap era to win a Super Bowl and return all 22 players. Oh, that's a little different. And you know what else is different? You're playing them on the hardest week of the season, week 1, when it's the hypest and everyone's the healthiest. So you're going into that game like, what? And you got to go on the road. And let's be real, they won the game. Greg Z, Young Jeezy, you kicked the game away for the Dallas Cowboys. But, hey, no moral victories over here. Week 2, once again, a difficult game. You're going against the Chargers, and you're going against the Chargers on the road. And it's the first game at the new stadium, and I know it was rocking because I was there losing my voice as well. But we don't want to grade them like that. We want to look at them like, you know what? They're 1-1. We like that record. We don't love it, even though Tampa Bay last year, the champions, were 1-1. We didn't love that, but now they turn into the champions. All I'm going to say is everything that the Dallas Cowboys want to attain is in front of them. And there are signs, indicators of improvement that they actually can close the gap between them and those Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Bucks.
All right, Marcellus, I'll give you that. Yes, we have seen improvement. Yeah. Congratulations. We have seen improvement. But since when does improvement matter more than wins?
Oh, I got you. I got you. I got you. Oh, I got you. I got you. I know. It does. Oh, yes, it does.
Improvement doesn't matter more than wins. When we're talking about how can we get to the playoffs? Oh, guys, if we improve. Well, if they improve, that garners them to be 7-10, or let's call it 8-9. What? Hey, that's improvement. But will they get there? We don't know that. It doesn't guarantee them that just by improving. So you can have the improvement, but give me what I expect, which is an offense that's going to be electric. Ezekiel Elliott coming back, who lost weight. Yes, he's done all the right things except actually improve on the field. So yes, he's improved in areas, but it hasn't equated to him personally winning statistically, which it matters when we talk about the overall success of the Dallas Cowboys. The same can be said defensively. They have some great players, some great talented individuals, but they've always had pretty good talented individuals. And they've always had some guys who can improve. But collectively, have they been able to get over just the ability to improve from week to week? Because if they keep this trend up that you're so excited about, they can improve, they can lose one, they can win the next. They can lose one, they can win the next. And that doesn't garner them a guaranteed spot in the NFL playoffs when we look at the Dallas Cowboys, America's team.
America's team. G, phenomenal. G, you've been crushing it.
You just agree with him. Stop saying phenomenal.
No, you've been crushing his taste. Here's what I don't get, though, Sal.
What?
You've lived a life of incredible accomplishment. Like, you've lived a life. Gee, this dude goes from Compton to Columbia to the NFL to a top 100 player 3 times to financial just dominance to phenomenal family. And yet, everything you've had to do to make it to where you are, setting a bar extremely high, you lower for all those around you. Then you just not love them in the manner in which you love yourself. So it could not have been easy. You could not have had such a low standard to get to Columbia from Compton. Couldn't have had a low standard at Columbia to get to the NFL. Couldn't have a low standard to go from the NFL to hosting your own show just a year or 2 later. But yet, you look at the Cowboys and you say, they improved. They went from 6-10 to, I don't know, 7-10. They improved.
Oh, I got to.
So I don't. This is what it really grinds my gears. Because I don't get it. You don't want the Cowboys to be as great as you are. You don't want other people to have the same success that you did. Because if you did, you would hold them to higher esteem. Marcellus Wiley, the kid that gets the F, please do not applaud them when they get a D. Especially not if they are intelligent enough to get an A. So the Dallas Cowboys are supposed to be an A student. At worst, they're supposed to be a B+ student. They got an F last year. Let's not applaud them when they now show you they're on track to get a C-. I'm waiting to see the A from the student who can do it.
I'm glad they added some time to this one because Nacho, I'm sorry, Acho. You nailed me right there. I do hold people that I love to lower standards than me.
Obviously.
Because, I think I got the cape on and I'm Superman. I got to save the family. I give you that one. We're going to talk after this show, too, because I need some help on that one. Let's talk about this take, though, right now. I've always stressed performance over outcome because the outcome's going to come if I keep performing. I never got caught up in this, and I saw so many kids growing up with me get derailed because everybody was, what do you want to be when you grow up? Hey, man, I don't know. And I used to say, I don't know. And people are like, what do you mean you don't know? So what are you trying to be? And I'm like, just the best today. And then today's going to add up to tomorrow, and it's going to add up to something great. Meanwhile, I saw other people throwing their fishing rod way out there. That's where it landed. I'm going to be that. Let me go. And then they get disappointed. Then they don't really have gratitude for the improvement. They don't become greater performers day to day. And then that's what? At the end of the year, it didn't add up. Let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys, because I want to show you guys how it adds up. There are some concerns out of Tampa Bay about this team, especially on defense, correct? Why? Because they're not improving. What do you mean? According to Grant, according to Acho, who cares? We're the champions, and look at our record. What is there to cry about? Oh, coach is looking at performance, not just outcome. Y'all don't want to go here with me, but I'm going to go here. Let's just talk about the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott and their offense. Everyone is telling me, oh, where's the offense? I thought it was the firepower. I heard you, G, taking shots at this offense. Okay, Dallas is 4th ranked right now. So let's talk about the other offenses that are better ranked. Number 3, Baltimore. You'd rather be Baltimore or Dallas? You would say, well, maybe Baltimore, except they're 21st ranked in the passing game, so they still have those question marks. Let's go to number 2, Arizona. I want to be Arizona right now. Look at them in their record, except they're outside the top 10 as well, at number 12 in rushing game. Okay, what about the number 1 offense, Las Vegas Raiders? Okay, except they're 30th in rushing. Meanwhile, the Dallas Cowboys sit there at number 4, and you guys are not concerned with the performance. But I give it to you like this. They are top 10 in not only running the football and throwing the football. The only team that damn high in terms of offensive production that actually has balance. Trust me, man. Focus on performance. That's going to get them to where they got to go at the end of the year. But until then, relax. Aaron Rodgers told us to do it. Coming up, speaking of Aaron Rodgers, see that, man? I'm a host. I'm a pro. Clap back at the media earlier this week over his commitment. We'll tell you if we like his attitude and G's hair. That's next. I'm going to get on that hair, dog. Don't speak for you. Saturday, come join Fox's Big Noon Kickoff at Soldier Field in Chicago for the biggest pregame party of the weekend. There'll be live music, ticket giveaways, and so much more. Be a part of the live TV audience at the Great Lawn on the east side of Soldier Field this Saturday, 9 Eastern. And after the pregame party, there's a huge matchup with number 12 Notre Dame taking on number 18 Wisconsin. Acho, what excites you the most about this matchup?
Sel, there's nothing better in life in my mind than a little bit of revenge. Quarterback for Notre Dame, Jack Cohn. He was the quarterback in 2019 for Wisconsin. Led the Badgers to a Big Ten championship game. Completion percentage of 70%. But he got injured. You know what they say, best ability, availability. So, gets injured in 2020, loses his job, transfers to Notre Dame. Now, Graham Mertz, the starting quarterback for Wisconsin, who took Jack Cohn's job, will be facing Jack Cohn, the starting quarterback for Notre Dame, who led Wisconsin to the championship game. This is going to be a game for the ages, and it's a revenge game, baby.
Storyline, Soldier Field, sizzle, and substance. Aaron Rodgers bounced back Monday night. Am I going to be able to host that? With a 4-touchdown performance. Follow that up by clapping back at y'all critics out there who have questioned his commitment to the Packers. But the reigning MVP was not done on the mic. He went deeper into his issue with his criticism Wednesday. Listen.
My issue is a platform given to individuals who only desire to say inflammatory things that are not based in fact. Right? So personally, I think I would be a little sensitive to people questioning my commitment to this team. Said it from the start, if I wasn't 100% committed to the squad and my team, then I wouldn't have come back.
Greg is back, but Acho got to come to you first. You like his attitude this week?
So I needed you to come to me first because we ain't just going to act like, you know what I'm saying, Aaron Rodgers hasn't made these same comments, you know what I'm saying, about one of us in this 1-2-3 box shot. Now, it wasn't me, because I've never talked to Aaron Rodgers before. It wasn't you, Marcellus Wiley, because, you know, you haven't beefed with Aaron Rodgers recently.
Not recently.
But Greg Jennings has had his fair share of words and gotten called out by the one and only Aaron Rodgers. I think they have since made amends. But, G, I just had to set the table before you dine over your take. And really now, with all that context, how you feel about Aaron Rodgers' attitude this week?
Hey, I like it. Be who you are. Just because somebody makes a statement, don't change who you are. Don't go home and put on a different outfit because you now all of a sudden feel uncomfortable with the outfit that somebody spoke about in a negative context. So don't do that. Be you. And that's what I don't. That's what I enjoy about Aaron Rodgers. I don't like the fact that we always do try to either pin him all the way down or put him all the way up. There is no middle ground for Aaron Rodgers. And so what we saw was him perform poorly, period. And what we also saw was him take the podium after the game and pretty much dismiss the performance, not in totality, but enough to where we were like, wait a minute. You can't just mull over that. You got to address that because you're the man that did all of what you did in the offseason. Now, we can have an opinion as media, but you are always, and it will forever be your job to prove us wrong, period. That is what we do as athletes when we're asked to perform. Prove the opposition wrong. Who is the opposition? Why am I saying we're the opposition? Because we're outside that locker room. We're not inside that locker room. So what we've been taught as athletes is we don't care what anybody says outside the locker room. They're all opposing us. This is about us in this locker room. If Aaron says he's 100% committed, which I don't disagree, I believe he is committed because you can't be that great of a player and not allow a performance like that to bother you. Yes, he also was bothered by some of the comments that were made, and we know Jermichael Finley made some comments and others made some comments and what have you. But that happens week to week to week. And so when we look at you said I didn't name myself.
You said Jermichael Finley.
I mean, I didn't just. I'm not gonna blame me because I didn't jump on Jermichael Finley's bandwagon with all of that. But anyway, my point that I'm making is I don't mind his approach. He addressed it. He let us know how he feels. He's 100% locked in. And I also will go back to what I did say is a lot of what he hears that he disagrees with, it motivates him. It gives him reason to light that fire, to be set aflame. And the Green Bay Packers benefit more than anyone else when that happens.
That's fair. I like the ending of that take. I hate Aaron Rodgers' attitude, G. The reason I hate his attitude is just because he doesn't have full comprehension of the situation. And Aaron Rodgers, by all metrics, appears to be one of the smartest football players on and off the field. He's business savvy, and on the field, he's one of the greatest to ever do it. But don't put yourself in a situation, Aaron Rodgers, and then complain about the situation that you put yourself in. Gee, I said this yesterday on the show. Aaron Rodgers has ostracized himself from the media at large, particularly over the last 6 months. He said, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. I ain't talking to nobody. But then Aaron Rodgers got upset when the media commented about Aaron Rodgers without knowing what was on Aaron Rodgers' mind. Well, Aaron Rodgers, we tried to talk to you, and you ain't want to talk to us. So we had to go ahead and talk anyway. Just like you get paid to do a job, we get paid to do a job too. What I hate about modern day athletics is that athletes, because we were once on that side and now we're on the other side, yes, they get paid to do a job. So do those covering you. So Aaron Rodgers, if you do not want to say what is on your mind, then we have to become mind readers. And nobody on TV is an expert mind reader. So do not get mad at those people, those critics who offer up an opinion, because you could have stated the truth. You ain't want to state the truth. Now we have to create our own truths. And that is how I feel about the situation. And that is why I hate Aaron Rodgers' attitude. Just say what it really was so we can also be on the same page and all be on one accord. But don't be mad now at everybody who critiqued you and everybody who said you're distracted. Because on the outside, you look distracted. You were in Hawaii during the OTAs. You were hosting Jeopardy. You were playing golf on national television. Those things appear to be distracting type of activities. So, Aaron Rodgers, we just interpreted your actions because you didn't want to use your words.
Oh, man. I am with Aaron Rodgers wholeheartedly. And that means I'm against you, Acho, right now. And Greg, depends on what day it is, we can ride together, too, on this topic. Let's talk for real. We asked you, Aaron Rodgers, as I quote my man Acho, but you didn't want to tell us. So we have to do our job, Aaron Rodgers. So we had to talk about something. Doesn't mean we had to talk out our ass about it, but some people did. So now Aaron Rodgers is upset. He's like, dog, y'all can do your job. You tried to interpret me, but you misinterpreted me. So I am with Aaron Rodgers. I'm with anybody who climbs a mountain And then when they at the top of that mountain, that apex, they yell down, and it echoes through the canyons, through the valleys. You can't get up here. And you don't know why. That's all Aaron Rodgers is saying. Like, dog, I'm motivated. I just won an MVP last time I checked. And now y'all gonna come up here and talk about, oh, I'm on vacation. Oh, I'm wearing weird T-shirts. Oh, I'm not committed to the game. Have y'all done this every offseason? Because last time I checked, I've been on vacation. I wear weird T-shirts. And I've had some issues with the franchise. They all didn't get public. Mum's the word. Let me tell you what's really going on here. Media is digging. And I know why they're digging. It's called the plight of the achiever. Overachiever and underachiever. Think about it. You're always perplexed at outcomes when it's somebody who overachieves. We go to the damn gym and you see the little short dude out there banging. You're like, Then you see him out there schooling everybody. You're like, you're going to dig a little more. Hey, man, you play ball? You start talking about it. You're perplexed at the outcome. You didn't see it coming. But you're also perplexed at anybody who underachieves. And this is the problem I have with the media covering Aaron Rodgers. Why don't y'all just tell him why y'all really got problems with him? Y'all like, dog, you that damn good and you only got one ring. And everybody wants to talk around that. But really, the only reason y'all digging is trying to find evidence to why Aaron Rodgers, in your eyes, has underachieved. But Aaron Rodgers wants to remind you, I have achieved. My teams haven't always achieved. And right there is the rub.
No, here's the rub, Sel. Here's the rub. And then let's break this down.
Let's go.
Your boy doesn't like to go out very much. I don't like to go out, Greg Jennings. I get it. I'm 30 years old. I got a strong hairline. Nah, but I don't like to. What I would rather do, Greg and Sel, is this. I'd rather enjoy a game night with my friends, with my dogs, Greg Jennings, with my dogs, Marcellus Wiley. If we were to be at a game night, we might play a game called charades, right? We might play a game called charades. I might come out here. I might say, because in charades you can't talk. All you can do is signal. Might give you one of these, 2 words. I might give you one of these, 3 syllables, or sounds like. You can't get mad at me, Sel. You can't get mad at me, Greg. And I can't get mad at you if y'all guess wrong when I'm out here playing charades. No, just talk. Aaron Rodgers, you was playing charades all off season. Just say what it is. Why are we playing charades, Aaron Rodgers? Why you got me out here guessing? Okay, so you wear a shirt that says okay, I think he's offended. He wore a shirt that said he was offended. Okay, wait, he said that we want more say on the roster. Okay, wait. He said, guys, did you see what he said? Okay, he played golf, but he used his left hand. Left hand is his off hand, so maybe he's in an off mood today. Okay, he played Jeopardy. He's hosting Jeopardy. Just say what you need to say. Greg and Sel. What? Aaron Rodgers had us all playing one horrible game of charades all off season. And now on September 23rd and September 22nd, he's mad because we guessed wrong. Well, guess what, Aaron Rodgers? This ain't game night. You can use your words, big dog. You can talk. Because if you talk, we can hear you. If you don't talk, now we just out here trying to figure out how many words, how many syllables. Was it a movie? Was it a TV show? And we all confused.
God, that was good.
Look, it was really good. And Acho, you done almost made me jump all the way over.
I knew it. See, that's why I said
I'm gonna be honest.
I knew it.
I'm gonna be honest. But this is why I don't mind why Aaron Rodgers playing charades and doing all that, and giving me all these third base signals. It's what he's always done. It's what he's. Touché. If he had not been this way from jump, then okay, I have something to come at him with. But this is who he's always been. We've known Aaron Rodgers to always be a clip reader, meaning he's looking at the newspaper clippings. He's watching what reporters says, what they say, why they say, when they said it. So when he has to engage with them, he reminds them in his own very own way of, I saw what you said. I know what you said. I'm going to handle you or dismiss you how I choose to in this moment because now I'm in control. So when he gets to the podium, that is his opportunity to be in control. Now, when he chooses not to be in the podium, what he's basically doing is saying, look, I don't have to speak because my performance has always spoken for me, and I've always been the best in the business, and I will always play to where I'm still in that question or in that conversation. So I don't have to speak when you desire for me to speak. I can speak or give you sign language or play charades and do whatever it is that I so choose because this is what I've always chosen to do, and my game warrants that. So this is why I don't have a problem with it. Do we all like it? Do I like it? I don't care. Do what you do, whatever makes you feel good. But at the end of the day, you got to play. And you better play like a Super Bowl champion MVP 3 times over, or we going to have something to say that you may not like.
Y'all strong on that other side. I can't lie. You ever know you're about to get into a fight with somebody? You're like, I'm going to know I got into a fight when this one is over, boy. Y'all putting some hands on me. I'm too damn old to be playing charades. I guess that's the reason, because you certainly haven't invited me, Acho, to any of these game nights. That's part one. And I will warn you in L.A. to not be somewhere quietly doing all that. It just ain't gonna last for you, homie, unless you're in Beverly Hills adjacent. Even now, though, it's kind of different out there. All right, I grew up hearing, I thought the end justifies the means. I thought that meant something. I thought that it's okay if you deliver to go out there and do it your way. I guess things have changed. Deliver. Because no one is up here slighting Aaron Rodgers in terms of performance. We can't do that. Now, in terms of outcome, in terms of totality, wins, losses, championships, yeah, we could dive a little deeper into those weeds. Aaron Rodgers suffers from 2 things. So this is why I know y'all connecting with me a little bit. I'm going to give y'all a little bit. One, it's like my son MJ. He has to get the last lick. I'm not built like that. I'm built more like a Tom Brady. I just want the hardest hit. Then I'm good. I'm going to do one Howard Stern interview, and then I'm out. You know what I mean? But Aaron, nah, I'm coming back. And my son will be there till tomorrow if I just touch him on the shoulder. Back. And that's Aaron Rodgers. He got to get that last word in. It's that little inner genius in him, I guess. And he also suffers from this. I'm glad you said it. Like he just pays a little too much attention to what the hell we talking about. It's selective perception, and we all suffer from it, but we're all not on his stage on that level with that platform. You get a post out there, right? G's lifting and Acho's tweeting about another Emmy, something out there, right? And then you start going through your comments like we all do. Stop lying. We all look at our comments, damn it. And you're looking. You're amazing, Greg. Oh, my God, look at those muscles. You're amazing, Acho. Another Emmy and another. You're a bum, Greg. You weren't that good. And then you stop down for those few comments that throw you off your high. Same with you, Acho. Same with me. Aaron Rodgers, it's all good, man. Keep delivering. These people ain't going to ever catch you, bro. But don't you stop, because then you make it easier for us to do it. Coming up, Bucs-Rams is a huge marquee matchup this weekend. Now I'm going to do the rest of this read in charades. Oh, y'all don't see that? Oh, but that's one game that we're predicting. That's next, though. Speak for yourself. That's what Mount Rushmore, I think. I think it's on there. That was really good. Oh, welcome back. Y'all should see what we do off camera. We are just hours away from week 3 kicking off, and we want to get our picks for the weekend, so let's get to speaking on predictions. A little contest we're going to go season long. All right, Acho, just chill. All right, let's start with tonight's matchup. The Texans hosting the surprising 2-0 Panthers on Thursday Night Football. Who you going with?
I'm going with the Panthers. I think they are for real #1 in total defense. Give me the Panthers, big dog.
Okay, I'm going with the Panthers as well. Sam Darnold, boy, he's so glad he... Okay. My dog. What's up? No. Okay. Next up, Washington. Visiting the Bills Sunday on Fox. Acho, who you got?
Give me the Bills and Josh Allen, your former team.
There you go. Mafia. You want to do something? Let me see you right now. Come on, let's go. You need a table right here. Doing nothing. That hurt my leg right there. All right, up next, we have the Bears taking on the Browns in Cleveland on Fox. Acho, who you got?
This one gets interesting for me because I think Justin Fields is going to ball, but I'm landing with my dog Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, even though you're going to ball, you're playing the Cleveland Browns with Baker Mayfield, so that means the Bears win.
He's down and out! Bro, you broke the set. He broke the set. I know you hurt. I know that hurt.
I'm good. Okay. Next up, Lamar Jackson, who wouldn't have done that. And the Ravens visit the Lions. Acho, who you got?
Oh, big dog. I got the Baltimore Ravens. This was going to be easy. I know. Take it out of check. Take it out of check.
I got the Ravens, too. Of course, they're going to do it. They're going to do this to them. All right, next up, the Colts taking on the Titans. Acho, who you got?
Who do I have for this one? Oh, give me the Tennessee Titans. I think the Tennessee Titans going to get back on even more of a track after beating the Seahawks 2-1.
Okay, I got the Tennessee Titans as well. Can you fall? You ain't going to do it. Next up, my Chargers take on Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Acho, who you going with?
Easy money. The Chiefs.
You. Chiefs. Same thing. Next up, Saints visit the Patriots Sunday on Fox. Acho, Jameis is bouncing back.
This is actually interesting to me. Give me the New England Patriots. I think that they shut down Jameis Winston. This is a good game, though, y'all.
This is a tough one right here. Patriots, they throwing the ball as far as you can see your nose right there. I'm going with the Patriots still. Jameis, you got to show me a little more. All right, next up, two teams looking for their first win. Falcons, Giants, MetLife Stadium on Fox. Acho, who you got?
This is bad versus worse, but I am going to go with bad. Give me the Atlanta Falcons beating the New York Giants.
As bad as I feel, or worse?
Worse.
I'm going with the Giants right there. Next up, AFC North battle. Steelers hosting the Bengals. Acho, who you got?
Easy money. Just give me the Steelers. That's easy money, big dog. That's easy.
This up. All right, I got the Steelers. I got to make up for that. All right, next up, Kyler and the Cardinals visit the winless Jags. Acho, who you got?
I already told y'all, the Cardinals. Cardinals by 22. This is going to be a blowout. Worst blowout of the weekend.
Blowout, but not by 22, by 11. We talked about that earlier. Next up, the Jets take on the Broncos. Acho, who you going with?
Bro, the Fighting Teddy Bridgewaters are for real. Give me the Broncos on this one.
Going with the Broncos as well. They got a real roster, and they got a quarterback that doesn't turn the ball over. Next up, Tua-less Dolphins head to Vegas to face the 2-0 Raiders. Acho, who you got?
The Raiders. How about Derek Carr finally bouncing back? 3 straight Pro Bowls, followed by 3 no Pro Bowls. I'm being honest.
Stop that. Derek Carr has had 100 passer rate in the last 2 years before this year. Ain't no bounce back, but still go Raiders. Next up, Tom Brady and the Bucs take on the Rams in America's Game of the Week on Fox. I may be owning Fox right now. HR. Acho, who you got?
I love this game. I love this game. I told y'all, give me the Rams. Matthew Stafford, he's going to show exactly why they traded for him.
Golly, the champs get better, and you think the other team's going to win? Interesting. Okay. I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Next up, Russell Wilson and the Seahawks take on the Vikings. Acho, who you got?
How do you do this? Okay, that's it. I don't know what I was doing, but whatever it is, Seahawks gonna win.
Seahawks gonna win? I don't know. They gave away a game last week.
They
Dalvin
did.
Cook need to get this. This is the season on the line for Minnesota.
That's very true.
I'm going with the Vikings. Next up, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers visit the 2-0 49ers Sunday night. Acho, who you going with?
Ain't nothing sweet, but, the Niners defense. Give me the Niners. They gonna shut Aaron Rodgers down in this one.
But are they gonna shut him up? No. Come on, man. You know the Green Bay Packers going to bounce back. They had a bad California trip last time out here. This time they're going to make it right. Last up, the Eagles fly to Dallas to take on Dak and the Cowboys on Monday night. Don't ask why I'm holding this still right here. Acho, who you got?
The Eagles are going to beat the Cowboys, but not this week. Give me the Dallas Cowboys. Eagles will avenge that loss later on.
Okay, I got the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm about to go see the medics. That's a wrap for our Week 3 Speak predictions.
I know that hurt.
Next week. It didn't hurt as bad. You know what hurt? That I was on the ground that fast to see how we did. Coming up, Carson Wentz, speaking on the ground, is dealing with a couple of sore ankles, and I got a bad leg right now. We'll tell you if the Colts quarterback should feel pressure to play on Sunday. Next on Speak.
Somebody get a medic! Get a medic!
Come on, call 911.
Now, Carson Wentz's status for the Colts road game, well, it's the same as Marcellus's for tomorrow's show. It is still in question. Because Wentz is no longer wearing a walking boot, and his MRI showed no structural damage. But he said both his ankles are still sore. Now, the Colts quarterback added the medical staff is, quote, throwing the kitchen sink at him, trying to get healthy. So, Sal, can we come on, Cam? First and foremost, how are you? If y'all didn't watch, he tripped, then he fell old age. He tripped, then he fell last block. How are you doing?
Workers' comp. I need to change my last name. Marcellus Fox. Nah, I'm good. I caught the good part of the leg. I still got a little thunder left. But, boy, in the air, the first thing I was thinking is like, why am I falling? And then I was like, oh, I'm about to fall. Check the body. I'm good right now.
My dog. Okay, well, let's talk. Should Carson Wentz feel pressure to play on Sunday?
Should I feel pressure to do the show? Yeah. Yes, he actually should feel pressure. Let's be real about this. This dude is on his 9th life. We could talk about getting a second chance, but I learned this the hard way. Even when you're going somewhere new with a breath of fresh air and you're getting your second chance, as soon as they see any indication of the first chance and how that turned out, they're going to marry those two experiences. Carson Wentz, when I went to Dallas after the decline started in San Diego, everybody gave me a clean slate. Blank canvas. We ain't tripping, Marcel's, man. New system, new coaching. We real over here. And as soon as they saw I couldn't get around that tackle as expected, all of the avalanche of doubt that came from my first place landed in my new place. That's what's going to happen to Carson Wentz right now. There are guys on this team literally sitting there saying, damn, this is what they were talking about. Always hurt. In this game, a closely contested game, going down the drive, potentially game winner. Carson Wentz injures not one, but both ankles. It's that type of pressure when people want to label you injury prone and you want to fight against that, but then you give them evidence that you are injury prone. Look at this, bro. I mean, it's the entire human anatomy. All the way back to college, broke a bone in his throwing wrist, fractured his ribs, ACL, LCL, back spasms, concussion, injured your foot this year already, coming off an injury, and you haven't even been there a year yet. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure for him to go out there and get it.
Co-sign completely, man. Carson Wentz has nothing but pressure on this Sunday. And it's because I think the greatest amount of pressure comes not only when you are dependent upon the outcome of a situation, but when others are dependent on you.
Facts.
Based upon the outcome of a situation.
Facts.
I would assume the greatest amount of pressure in your life, Marcellus, is not necessarily... We're going to go personal. It's almost the end of the show. We're going to go personal. We got the notes. I would assume that the reason you have to live the life you have to live, both in your marital, with your kids, etc., isn't just because, well, you, Marcellus, want to be the best person, human being, etc., but you got a wife who's dependent upon you, who's dependent upon your faithfulness. You got kids that are dependent upon you, that are depending on your faithfulness, that are dependent on you collecting these checks. You got siblings that are dependent to some degree on you, depending upon your faithfulness, dependent upon... That is where the real pressure, if any pressure, if we at all subscribe to pressure, that's where it lies. Not only in what does it mean for you, but what does it mean for your dependents? Frank Wright is a dependent of Carson Wentz. Frank Wright is the head coach who stuck his neck out there for Carson Wentz. Remember, Frank Wright was Carson Wentz's old offensive coordinator for the Eagles when they won the Super Bowl. So Carson has pressure not just because Carson's livelihood is on the line, but Frank Wright is 0-2. I haven't looked up the stats, but I'd be hard-pressed to believe that Frank Wright was 0-2 in his other years with the Colts, just based upon the fact that the Colts went 11-5 last year. Gotcha. So Frank Wright is 0-2, flirting with being 0-3 in large part because of Carson Wentz. First game, Wentz played well, but he got outplayed by Russell Wilson. Second game, Wentz again played well, but he got hurt at the end of the game. Third game, Wentz might not even be available. Frank Wright stuck his whole neck, his career livelihood out for Carson Wentz. And Carson Wentz, at this junction in time, has only returned an 0-2 start, an injury in training camp, and an injury during the second game of the season. To me, man, that's pressure. I love Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is my dog. Carson Wentz is a friend, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. But we can't deny the pressure of the current situation.
Because the pressure comes with that consequence. Same thing you said. To answer what you were suggesting, yes. The pressure I feel is the responsibility because I do know I have the door open. And for so many generations in my family, it felt like the door was closed, whether they never tried to open it or the door wasn't going to open itself. The point is, I know I have the door open and I got to widen it so more people could come in. That's the responsibility I have. Carson Wentz, in this situation, like you said, there's consequence. And you got the door open this much longer in terms of people perceiving you as a franchise quarterback. You better widen it or it's going to slam shut on you. Coming up, Sam Darnold has a lot of reasons to smile so far, but we'll tell you if his Panthers' perfect record is fool's gold. That's next on Speak for Yourself. Panthers are off to a perfect 2-0 start. Offense is clicking and their defense ranks first overall in the league. Look at that. Next up, road game against the Texans tonight and their rookie quarterback, Davis Mills. No, I didn't say Deshaun. And the Panthers are favored by 8 points according to Fox Bet Sportsbook. Acho, 2-0 Panthers for real or fool's gold?
Man, they're for real. Panthers, They're led right now by their defense. That's why they're so real. First off, Sam Darnold, we knew he was good.
We knew
You
it.
typically don't get drafted in the top 5.
Right.
No, you never get drafted in the top 5 in the NFL unless you are good. The question is, can you sustain the environment around you? He couldn't in New York. Now he's in Carolina, paired up with a great coach in Matt Rule, a great offensive mind in Joe Brady, and he's starting to show himself as a really formidable quarterback. Beyond all that, defense. They spent all of their draft picks in 2020 on defensive players, starting to see the dividends. First in points per game, first in sacks, first in third down percentage, first in basically every meaningful statistic that you can have defensively.
Facts.
And last thing of note, Christian McCaffrey, he's come back and he has been that dude. Not to be confused with that dude. He's been that dude. He's come back. He has over 300 all-purpose yards through 2 weeks. McCaffrey's balling. Sam Darnold is balling. Defense is balling. I don't think it's fool's gold. Now, they haven't truly been tested yet. We know that.
Okay, now we're
Except the
talking.
Saints, I think, was a little bit of a test. They're not going to be tested tonight, but from everything I can see, I think that's legit.
Yeah, I think they're for real as well. You just mentioned all the ballers that are supported by the stats and the rankings this year, which says, yeah, we're looking at a team that should be undefeated when you're first in so many statistical categories. Let's look a little deeper, though. You play the Jets. You play the Saints, and we don't know what the Saints are. Even though we were impressed in week 1, we weren't so impressed in week 2, in part because of the Panthers. But that's a weak division in totality. We know the best team in football is in that division, but then you got other teams that you can feast off of. So if you're talking about a division with Atlanta, interesting. You talk about a division out there with the Saints who they just beat already. And you're talking about Tampa Bay. But the point is they're going to have opportunity to go out there and to rack up some W's. I'm liking what I'm seeing because Sam Darnold is now in a situation where he doesn't have to play from behind immediately. He's in a situation where he can go out there and actually use his running game, plays out the backfield, all these kind of outlets that allows him to play his game. His game is a little daring. It's not so gunslinger, but it's certainly a guy who wants to push the ball down the field. But you got to protect him. And they need to make sure that they protect him upfield, and they also need to protect him in the play call. If not, Sam Darnold knows where he wants to go with that football. He'll lock in, and he'll throw it. But so far, it's been all good. Coming up, Matt LaFleur says he's still friends with Kyle Shanahan after the Niners looked into Aaron Rodgers. Really? We'll tell you if he's keeping it 100 or just 99 next on Speak for Yourself.
On this show, y'all know what it is. We only keep it 100. But others, they keep it 99. So each day, we got to get to the bottom of who's really telling the truth. Case in point. Aaron Rodgers, he was the center of the rumor mill this offseason. And head coach Matt LaFleur claims to have no issues with his friend Kyle Shanahan calling about a potential trade for the reigning MVP. Take a listen.
Yeah, Kyle's a great friend of mine. And so, I haven't talked to him in a while. It's just part of the business. You kind of get in your own routine. But yeah, absolutely. I hold no ill will towards him.
You couldn't even get that out of his chest.
Yeah.
Matt LaFleur keeping it 100 or is he keeping it 98?
He keeping it 100. He keeping it $1, for real. That's how the game go. Look, you super single right now. I
Yes,
ain't.
sir.
But one of my fiancés I actually met when one of my teammates was trying to holler. She was single, he was single, I was single. We ain't get mad at each other because that's just how the game go. Win. That's who wins. In this situation, that's my quarterback, but I don't own him. Ain't no situation. He's single. He can get traded. Have you ever seen the second draft board that they have? Not just for the prospects, but for the veterans out there. Anybody can get traded, so anybody could get got.
So he keeping it 85 first and
What?
foremost.
How?
Because if you're in a relationship with somebody, say I'm in a relationship with a woman and I got issues, if you come over here or a single, you come over here trying to check, see if, hey, I know y'all beefing right now, but what's up with the what's up? Then we got problems. But you know what had a bigger problem?
They ain't in no relationship.
You had a bigger problem with the set.
Jordan,
Can we just take a
Let's
quick
see this.
peek at-
Let me see what that happened. Remy on the roof. Sniper. Big dog. What kind of friend are you?
As a superior athlete, would you have still fallen 10 years back?
Hell
years
yeah.
back.
First of all, I didn't know what hit me.
Your left leg was stuck in the mud.
No, it was stuck in 46 years old, and that's when it was stuck. I didn't know what hit me, and then my legs were together, and I had a choice. And my choice was to roll softly.
I'm glad you know how to fall. Look how you tuck that.
I still got one sack left in me. Anybody could get me. Like Matt LaFleur, keep it 100. That's it for us. See you tomorrow. Hey, man, why you laughing at my pants?